Good graphics in video games are always welcome, but today I want to go through my top 5 games that I think are really good games that don't really have the best graphics. Now obviously graphic styling and what you like really depends on you, so this is a personal opinion. Whether the game never really had good graphics at all, or if in hindsight the graphics were really bad. So with that, let's get into it. The first game I want to mention is a game called Samurai Gun, which came out in 2013 on Steam by a company named Technopants. This is kind of a hard game to describe. I guess you could say it's a fighting single-screen platformer, kind of in the vein of Towerfall Ascension. It's super fast-paced. This game moves very quickly, very fast, which I think is why the gameplay out-trumps the graphics. With that said, what I mean by the graphics is I love pixel graphics. I love retro graphics. I love it to death. But I feel like with it being a newer pixel type game, it really didn't do anything that gave me anything extra pleasing to look at or please my eyes with that style and direction that they went with the game. But like I said, with the actual gameplay being so fun and so intense, I really didn't have time to think about the fact that I didn't really like the graphics until making this list. The game to me even kind of felt like Joust, which I know isn't really a true accurate comparison, but to me it just kind of reminded me of it. You get one hit, one kill, and then you revive, and you have maybe like 5 lives. I think you can set it between 5 and 10, but talk about a fun co-op experience. If you have any friends at all, which I'm sure you do, you definitely need to play this with somebody. Get it down on Steam. You will have some amazing fun. And once you figure out the bullet system in that game, which mostly it's ninja hits, learn how to volley it and you can play volleyball matches. And my God, it is fun. The next one is a game called Ivy the Kiwi. It has a question mark for some reason. I guess it's a question, is the game called Ivy the Kiwi or not? But this game came out in 2010, and what a really good game and what a unique good game. Before I get into the actual gameplay, let me tell you about the graphics. The graphics have like a beautiful art style, but the colors are so dull and so bland that it just is really unpleasing to look at. When you look at the art style of the game, you think automatically, wow, this is gonna be a beautiful game, which technically it is, but the colors are so all brown and orange and dull and dry that it's really not pretty to look at all. It's like if someone handed you a drawing and they drew an outline of something amazing and you're like, wow, this is beautiful, you did such a good job, and you're like, go finish coloring it, and they bring it back to you and they just only found the orange and brown color in the crayon box and didn't really do anything with it. With that said, it's kind of a bittersweet art styling, but I would say it definitely doesn't have graphics or visuals that I like. But the game itself, my God! It's one of those games on the Wii where you have to use your motion controls and you have to kind of guide Ivy the Kiwi around the level to get through different areas and to platform and to solve puzzles. But it's really fun. It keeps you going. Something about the game really interested me and kept me playing. Even though the art styling and the graphics weren't good, the game kept me moving very fast. I remember the first time I played it, I probably played this game for a good 3 to 4 hours. So I would say, with the graphics aside, which are bittersweet, so it's kind of weird to be on this list, but trust me, when you look at the colors, your eyes won't be dazzled by any means. But the game will keep you going. You'll be a little confused. You'll be like, this is pretty, but it's kind of ugly, but I don't want to stop playing. It's a confusing, and it has a question mark in the game. This game is just confusing on all levels, but it is a great game, as I said. I promise you that. The next one is probably one of my favorite games of all time, so it's kind of hard to put in this list, and that's Silent Hill on the PlayStation 1 by Konami. Now, this game I wouldn't say is horrid graphics, but it's not good graphics by any means. In hindsight, looking at the game, yeah, the graphics are pretty ugly, pretty hard to look at, early polygons, which I'm sure you can put a lot of early polygons on this, but the levels are obviously, there isn't really levels. The world is basically super dark, super dreary, super dry, which isn't good to look at all. But with the levels being super dark, dreary, and dry and not pleasing to look at is also part of what really sets you into the atmosphere of Silent Hill. All that sense of being alone and not really being able to see that far in front of you is really kind of what puts your brain into that mode of what Silent Hill is trying to accomplish. Silent Hill is really one of those games that proves that graphics don't matter. This game could have looked like complete turd, and with the story and the way everything is told and with the soundtrack especially, Silent Hill proves that graphics really don't matter. Most horror games have a hard time doing what Silent Hill did back in the day today. So Silent Hill would definitely be on this list. The next one is a game I didn't get to play too much when I played it, but I remember two things. I remember really enjoying the game and really enjoying the funkiness of the game, but I also remember thinking the game looked terrible even at the time when I was playing it. And that's a game called Toejam and Earl.
Toejam and Earl is so funky, it'll make you scream like nothing ever before.
Toejam and Earl came out in 1991, and the game is all about funk, and the game is beloved by so many people, but like I said, the graphics are bad. When I say it's beloved by many people, I mean, look at this list. This shows right here, I went on Metacritic and checked out Toejam and Earl, and people praise this game like crazy. I don't think Toejam and Earl ever set out to be graphically pleasing. I think the game accomplished what it wanted to, and that's just to be the ultimate funk dude of the era, and I think it accomplished that really well. All right, the last one, my last pick would be a game that I definitely really enjoy, and that is Gauntlet Slayer Edition.
Gauntlet Slayer Edition,
which did come out in 2014. I got it when it was a free download on the PlayStation 4. This game is super addictive, especially co-op. I remember playing this game all the time with friends online and playing it with friends at my house all night, just trying to beat this game, which I remember we did end up beating it on hard, which took forever. But in hindsight, I remember my kid coming in, watching me play the PlayStation 4 and saying, "Dad, this game doesn't look very good." You know, because a lot of times, you know, maybe he sees me playing other games on the PlayStation 4, which technically hail as much better graphical games. Seeing this, yeah, it's really not good graphics. It's not polished very well. It's newer graphics, but it's not polished well by any means. But it didn't matter, and it really never did matter to me. So with that said, really, in my personal opinion, graphics never really mattered to me. Sure, good graphics are nice, and they can be a great thing in video games. So let me know what you guys think of games that are good games with bad graphics. I know my brother last night said Final Fantasy VII. I was talking to him. He's like, at the time, he thought this game was beautiful. In hindsight, it's a really ugly looking game, but it's an amazing game. Like we said, graphics don't really matter. They're nice, but let us know what you guys think. That's all I want to know. I want to know you guys. Give us a ton. There's a million. We can name 100. I mean, you can name anything that's early polygonal games, but really what I just want to know them. These are mine. That's it. It's the weekend. Have a good weekend. Adios, you guys. See you later.